Welcome to Sports News, May 21st, 2025. We got a bunch of headlines, including the Tush Push news. We have a new MVP in the NBA, plus glory, Tottenham Hotspurs just won the Europa League. Man, fun one. Let's start with the story. We begin in the NFL, where the NFL owners have voted to keep the Tush Push. Now, this has been a long time conversation since February, of course, with the Packers proposing to ban the Tush Push. The votes results were 22 out of um, 24. They needed 24 in order to make it official. It did not happen. The teams that were part with the Eagles were the Ravens, the Patriots, the Jets, the Lions, the Browns, Jaguars, Dolphins, Titans, and New Orleans all decided to join the Eagles to keep the Tush Push. And it's interesting because I think a lot of some of these teams who don't want this play to be banned is because you got to have another D lineman in order to stop the Tush Push. That would make sense of why these teams didn't do want to keep the Tush Push, because again, it is a league of football. It's like rugby, but again, that's that's on Green Bay's fault. So it's good luck with that. Good luck. But for me, I wouldn't. I would ban the Tush Push if it's a push to the quarterback. Only if it's a push to the quarterback. If it's not, then I wouldn't ban it. But it's official. Tush Push is not getting banned. The NFL playoff seeding will remain unchanged for 2025. Now, this was a proposal for the Lions because, of course, if you remember, um, the Vikings, for example, the Vikings have the best record, and they are taking on the Rams, who are a 10-win team. It would have been the 10-win team Rams taking on the 14-win Vikings in Super Wildcard Weekend in Minnesota. Well, what happened was they have withdrew this decision. Therefore, there will be no change in the playoff seeding. A bit of surprise, I guess. A lot of teams maybe were not interested in this move, but they want to make sure the playoff seeding is how it was. Can't just change it. I would love to have that kind of seeding change, because why would a 14-win team Vikings team go to Los Angeles with the Rams and play a 10-win team? Why? Don't know. But I wish that could happen in the future, but we'll see if it happens in the future. If not, playoff seeding will probably be maybe one of the more big discussions when we get to playoffs in January. Hard Knocks will follow the Bills at training camp, plus the NFC East in season, so we will get to hear the Bills at training camp. And for mid-season, of course, we'll get to hear a Hard Knocks featuring the NFC East, which means the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. Will get to hear them on the season. We have some news that happened an hour ago. This one, for me, I did not expected that to happen, but Colts owner Jim Irsay has died at the age of 65. The report was that he died in his sleep. And a fun story here. In 1984, at the age of 24, Jim Irsay became the youngest GM in NFL history to become the general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. He became the chairman, the principal owner, and the CEO of the Colts in 1997 after his father, who took the ownership with the Colts, died, and Jim Irsay took the role for his father. He's been dealing with health issues in recent years. For Colts fans, this is a huge loss, and they are going to have to find a new owner for the Colts. And look, when we wake up tomorrow and we hear Jim Irsay just passed away, Colts fans are going to be shocked. A moment of silence for the great Jim Irsay. All right, let's get to college football. We got a big news coming in. Notre Dame Wisconsin game gets a Sunday kickoff for 2026, 2025 maybe, in Lambeau Field game. Now this will happen, I would say, after. So the schedule would be this: we'll have the Cowboys Eagles on Thursday, and we're gonna have Notre Dame Wisconsin on Saturday, and of course Sunday Night Football on Sunday. That's what the schedule is going to be, or unless it's 2026. Sorry. Let's go to the NBA. The big news on the NBA: SGA is named MVP over three-time MVP winner Nikola Jokic. The wait is over. The 26-year-old Shai Alexander has finally won his MVP for the first time in his career. And the runner-up, of course, is the three-time MVP winner Nikola Jokic. This was no surprise. I thought mid-season would be Jokic, SGA, maybe Anthony Edwards. But turns out it was SGA over Jokic, and SGA well deserves this MVP award. Some interesting news coming in with the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards has been fined $50K for using profane language in the interview. Of course, if you go watch that interview, he did give the Julius Randle a shove on the shoulder, looking at the box stats, laughing about it. So go check that interview. But does that going to affect him in game 2 tomorrow? We'll see. Let's go to college basketball. Former Kansas star Jaquan Vaughn has joined self-staff. Now, recently he was the Brooklyn Nets head coach. Now he's going to join self-staff as an assistant head coach for the Kansas Jayhawks. Houston Cougars give Calvin Simpson a new 4-year contract. The deal ends in 2028 to 29 season. He, of course, led them to Final Fours as well as a national championship in a recent month. I think in January, February, March, April, May, and a month ago. When Houston played against Florida, unfortunately, it didn't end up how they wanted to, but Calvin Simpson is looking to get Houston back as national championship contenders. Let's end this off with the UEFA Europa League and glory, Tottenham Hotspurs. Spurs have beaten Manchester United in the Europa League final to end the 17-year trophy drought. The 17-year drought is over. Their first trophy since the 2008 when they won the League Cup. This is their third European trophy since 1984. So they've been winning on the UEFA Europa League trophies. And this is here's what I'll just say. People like fans, for example, or us, don't believe these two teams deserve to be in the Champions League. And we got a balance between Tottenham. Questions is Andrew Postecoglou going to return for his third year? I'm going to say this. If they win on the final day of the Premier League, Postecoglou is going to stay there. The only concern I would need for Spurs to do is to make moves in the transfer window on the summer in order for them to compete in the Champions League. Meanwhile, for Manchester United, now the eyes are on you because you got Ruben Amorim, who, of course, they appointed him since they fired Erik ten Hag. Is he going to stay in Manchester United for next season, or they're going to go to a new direction and find a new manager? Time will tell. If you have not seen my other sports news, make sure to go to my channel below, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more sports news. We'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.